This is the untold story of America's first 15 presidents, the men who built a nation and the ones who almost destroyed it.
Phase 1, the Founding Fathers, the nation-building era. Number 1, George Washington. He literally set the two-term president by flat-out refusing a crown. He built the cabinet from scratch, crushed the Whiskey Rebellion to prove federal power was actually real, and steered the new nation clear of European wars. Talk about a tough act to follow. Number 2, John Adams. He successfully dodged an all-out war with France, but he signed the super controversial Alien and Sedition Acts, cracking down on free speech. His biggest legacy, though? Losing re-election and handing over power peacefully. That was a historical first. Moving right along to number 3, Thomas Jefferson. In 1803, he doubled the nation's size overnight with the Louisiana Purchase and sent Lewis and Clark out west. But here's the massive historical contradiction. The guy who wrote the Declaration of Independence was a lifelong slave owner. Rolling into number 4, James Madison. The father of the Constitution established the Second National Bank, but he also led the U.S. through the War of 1812. The absolute lowest point? The British literally burning the White House to the ground. Number 5, James Monroe. He rides in on this era of good feelings. Political unity soared, the economy was booming. He grabbed Florida from Spain, and he dropped the Monroe Doctrine, boldly warning Europe to just stay out of the Americas. Number 6, John Quincy Adams. He won the presidency through what critics called a corrupt bargain in Congress after a totally deadlocked election. He pushed hard for national infrastructure and later became a fierce anti-slavery voice in Congress. But his incredibly messy election set up a massive shift in American politics. Because things were about to get a whole lot messier. Welcome to a nation on edge. Number 7, Andrew Jackson. Champion of the common man, he wildly expanded executive power. He killed the National Bank in the epic Bank War, but he also signed the Indian Removal Act, which led directly to the tragic Trail of Tears. His successor inherited a total disaster. Number 8, Martin Van Buren. He built the modern Democratic Party structure, sure, but he presided over a severe economic depression in 1837, all while continuing Jackson's Indian removal policies. Number 9, William Henry Harrison. Get this, he gave the longest inauguration speech in history, in the freezing cold, caught pneumonia, and died just 31 days into his term. Literally the shortest presidency ever. Which brings us to number 10, John Tyler. He set a massive precedent by being the first VP to assume the presidency after a death. He annexed Texas, but shockingly managed to get expelled from his own Whig party for vetoing their bills. Number 11, James K. Polk, the expansionist. He led the Mexican-American War, scoring massive territorial gains like California and the Southwest. He fulfilled every single major campaign promise in just one term, and then he simply walked away. Number 12, Zachary Taylor, a Mexican-American war hero with zero political experience. He was a slaveholder himself, yet he shockingly opposed extending slavery to the new territories. But he died suddenly from a stomach illness just 16 months into his term. Number 13, Millard Fillmore. He temporarily delayed civil war with the Compromise of 1850, but that deal included the harsh Fugitive Slave Act, which infuriated abolitionists and permanently fractured the Whig Party. The tension completely boils over. Number 14, Franklin Pierce. Following the tragic death of his young son right before inauguration, Pierce signed the Kansas-Nebraska Act. This violently intensified the national conflict over slavery, leading historians to view him as one of our weakest presidents. And finally, hitting rock bottom with number 15, James Buchanan. The only U.S. president who never married, he essentially sat back and did absolutely nothing decisive as several southern states formally seceded in the final months of his term.
A completely fractured nation. Just 15 presidents in, the grand united experiment has broken down and is heading right off a cliff. So, what happens next?